Hello, my name is Lindsay and welcome back to another speed build challenge. I had to redo this audio voiceover because let me show you the first one real quick. Welcome to another speed build. Today I'm going to be building a modern trailer, one that I would actually like to live in. So let's get started. Yeah, so that wasn't gonna do. So I just woke up, I got the bed head rocking, I am still half asleep, but I wanted to get this voiceover out for you because it was one of my favorite ones. I'm just going to be telling you about all of my childhood memories living at a trailer park in the summer because it was very near and dear to my heart and I had such wonderful times there. So let's build and I will tell you stories about my trailer park. So yeah, a little info about me. I actually used to live in a trailer. Well, not live in a trailer. I mean, like, my parents rented a trailer at a trailer park. During the summer we would go there, and that's like my childhood basically. And I just have like such vivid memories of like running around barefoot in the grass. Like, you couldn't do that nowadays. Like, you can't go outside and just like walk around and feel the grass beneath your toes. And like, you know that thing that like hippies do that I'm like actually really down for is like they call it like grounding or earthing or whatever, and you just like feel the energy from the earth. And I know this is a weird topic, I know, but you can't tell me that whoa, voice crack. You can't tell me that when you stand in the grass and you shut your eyes and you feel better. You feel like the earth's energy. You cannot tell me that you don't, because it feels 10 times better when your tootsies are in the grass than when they're on the pavement. Okay, so I was like an early hippie. You know, I grew up at a trailer park where there was lots of little bugs and critters and creatures and stray cats and possums and snakes and cats. You know, there was like a little bit of everything there, and like probably why I kind of like grew into the person I am today is because I connected a lot with those little critters and creatures. One of my favorite things to do was actually get candy from the corner store. When they were 1 cent, they were 1 penny for 1 candy. And you would go there and you get like a little brown bag full of candy. You could bring like $3 and then you'd get like this giant bag full of candy that would last just the walk home. For this build, I wanted to recreate that trailer vibe, but something that I would make for myself. So not the one I used to live in, which was great, but it was a little ratty, a little worn down. I mean, that was the style back then. It was grunge. Okay, like our trailer park was not one of those bougie ones. It wasn't like Bing Park where you got like your own in-ground pool and like the public washrooms actually had flooring instead of just cement. That was not our trailer park. Not even close. I mean, it was a really great trailer park. It was my favorite trailer park ever because they had like such good what even accent is that? I wanted to recreate that trailer vibe, but a trailer that I would create now for myself. So a little more modern, a little more bougie, a little more updated, but still a trailer. I definitely wanted to include a little sunroom where you could go and eat your breakfast and it feel like you're outside without actually being outside. I've always wanted a sunroom. Like, that sounds like bougie, but also like very nature oriented, and I'm all about like that hippy dippy stuff. Yeah, this is nothing like the trailer I grew up in. My trailer was pretty big because my parents got it from their parents, and it was like really expensive back then, but that means it's also like very outdated. Like, there was like plastic paneling on the outside, and there was like 70s tile on the ground, and like really dingy brown carpet, which like I kind of love that vibe. I loved like the really kind of old-timey, grungy, old 70s, like kind of like grandma prints, you know what I mean? So it definitely had its own charm, but that is not the vibe I wanted to go for this one. I wanted it to be like renovated, updated, kind of the trailer parks you would find now, I guess. My trailer actually was beside the best park, arguably the best park of the entire area. Like my trailer park was split into 2 different areas. We lived in not the better one, not the one with the lake. It was more of like the really loud drunk people, but I still loved it nonetheless. But we did live beside the best park. There was like this awesome huge sand dune. It was the biggest thing, and I would spend hours on it, just like climbing it and rolling down. And the best part, there was this wooden bridge. Like, there was like this jungle gym, but this wooden bridge was the star. It was the best freaking thing in the entire park. So it was like the wooden planks would be in the bridge formation, and then there was 2 beams, I guess. So there was like a beam here, and then you go up higher and there's another beam. So you would need 2 people for this. One person would stand on the bottom beams, and the other person would stand on the bridge. And the person on the bottom beams would jump and go onto the bridge, and then the other person would go whoop, whoop, and then you just like do that back and forth. Jump onto the bridge and send the other person up. And it was so much fun, and we also used to get in a lot of trouble for it because the park rangers didn't want us to get hurt. But we did it anyway. It was like the funnest thing. And we would get like splinters on that thing. We would get bruises on that thing. It was the most unsafe area in the entire park. And me and my friends would just like having a blast. We also had this really big hill that like went down into another little campsite thing by the woods. And it was like during the winter, this would have been the best hill to toboggan down. Like, picture that in your head. It was like the greatest freaking hill. So me and my friends at the top, we'd like lay down, and then we would just like spin, and we like barrel roll all the way down to the bottom, where you could like, your head would spin, you would get a headache, when you stand up you'd kind of like fall over. It was so much fun. Like, I kind of feel bad for people that didn't get that trailer experience, that they didn't have somewhere to go in the summer, because I don't know, it was just like I had a bunch of friends there that I never would have met otherwise. Like, I don't talk to them anymore, but they were such a huge part of my childhood and the experiences there. And like, it was like going there, you would have your own little adventure with your friends. Like I was saying, it was one trailer park, but it was also split into like 2 parts. So like, you'd come into the trailer and then you'd go to this part where I thought it was the better part because I lived there, but arguably it was not the better part because our play stuff wasn't as good and we didn't have a lake or anything like that. Anyway, like, we lived on like the grungier part, and then the other part was like a little bit more bougie. Like, those people were a little bit more rich than us. Yeah, they also had a really good park because they had teeter-totters. Wait, no, they didn't. That wasn't... No, I'm lying. Oh my god. No, that was by the store. Yeah, you would have to like walk like half an hour to get to the store. And that was the place that had the teeter-totters. And we got hurt so much. So much of those teeter-totters. It was absolutely insane. But we never learned our lesson. We never ever learned. Like, we would bounce our butts on them. Like, when you would like push off from the ground and the other person would like kind of fly and like flop back onto the thing. We went underneath them. We stood on them like they were skateboards. We jumped off of them like they were like diving boards. We got so hurt back then. Oh my god. I have a lot of scars because of my stupidity being a child living at the trailer park. But wouldn't have it any other way. You know, you gotta learn sometime. So yeah, that was the one by the lake. Lake Erie, by the way. And can't swim in that anymore. Nope, bad idea. But back then, when we were kids, like, we used to... Wait, did we? See, no, like, I remember swimming in that, but not for long. Like, even as a kid, I remember my parents being like, yo, Lindsay, don't be going in there. You can go in there to wet your toes, but don't be swimming in that shite. Okay, don't be doing that. But my older brothers and sisters, they were the generation that grew up swimming in that lake. Would not advise it now. Absolutely not. No. We also have a similar lake where I live now in the city, where there's like actual signs up saying like, do not go in the water, it is not good for you, it is a bad idea, and people still go in it. So I imagine people in like Erie still go in Lake Erie. Oh my god. Okay, another memory just popped into my head. Oh my god. I do not know if I was seeing things. I must have been seeing things. But I remember when I was a kid and we were going in, we were like knee or thigh length deep. So it wasn't, I was very short. It wasn't that far in. But the water was like a tad murky, but not enough that you couldn't see your toes or anything like that. So I remember being a kid and just like walking around, having a blast, you know, splashing in the water and stuff. And then, oh my god, the memory is still so vivid in my mind. There was like this really, it looked like a giant snake, okay? It looked like, it was fat like this, it was like this big, and it, like, Oh, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. It was like under the water and it went like around my feet. And it just like, I remember this. It was probably nothing. It was probably nothing. It was probably my, but it was so vivid. It was so vivid and I still remember it to this day in my mind. It was terrifying. It looked like a giant snake that like swam by my feet. Oh my god. So yeah, that's one memory I would be glad to forget. One of my favorite things to do there when I was a kid was like I had a lot of best friends there. Like I had a lot of best friends when I was a kid growing up there. But one always stood out, and we were actually friends. We're kind of friends to this day, I guess. I don't know, we're not like best friends or anything anymore, but like we're still friendly. I would wake up first thing in the morning and then I would run over to my best friend's trailer, and it was like you just like walk, and then there was like a little hill, and then you walk up the hill, and then you go to the side, and then it was like right there. It took me like 3 minutes to get there, not even. It took me 30 seconds if I ran. I would go over there and then we would play Mario Party all day long, and I'm talking Nintendo 64. Like, yeah, we would play that for hours on end, and it was so much fun. And there was also this really cool store. It was like an old barn, I think. It was like a barn that got renovated into a store, and it was painted blue, like a dark royal blue. And they used to have puppies in the back, and we used to go and pet the puppies and get candy. And then there was like an ice cream shop. Like, oh my god, it was a kid's dream. It was a kid's freaking dream there. Okay, back to the build really quick. I just wanted to keep it like very simplistic and like not a lot of clutter, and like it be very clean walls and like a very kind of zen area, because speaking from experience, growing up with a lot of clutter in a trailer gets very claustrophobic really quick. So I wanted to make it not be that. So that's why I went with the modern trailer, because this is the trailer I would want to live in right now. You know, if I was going to a trailer park and I was renting my own trailer, I'm not one for camping. I will say it right here. I need a TV. I need a fully working toilet. I need a stove. I need a fridge. You know, I cannot camp. I grew up at a trailer park. I love nature. I was like a little crazy child that never wore shoes, but I cannot camp. I can't camp. I can't camp. So yeah, this is the trailer I would live in nowadays. I need a trailer to camp. Okay, and another story. My two cousins used to come over all the time. Like, I'll use their nicknames, it's fine. Okay, so my cousins Teddy and Duck, yes, that's what we actually call them, Teddy and Duck. They used to come over to the trailer all of the time, and I was a lot closer to Teddy than I was with Duck, because Teddy was like a very kind of outdoorsy person, I guess. He liked adventure. So the entire day when it was just me and him, we would go out, and we had a lot of ponds at the trailer park, and there used to be a lot of little froggies that used to live in the ponds. So me and my cousin Teddy would always go out with like our big buckets and like fill it with pond water, and then we'd catch a bunch of little froggies, and then we'd go home and be like, oh, look at what we caught. We caught like Gerard, and here's Shaggy, and here's John. And we named all the frogs, and then we'd like waddle back and then like put them back into the pond. But yeah, we used to do that all day, just like catching frogs, releasing them, going on adventures in the forest, because we had like this huge scary forest that you did not want to go in alone, and you did not want to go in at night. That was a big no-no. That was a scary thing. So we didn't do that. But yeah, during the day it was fine. So we used to do that, and then we would come home at night when it was like freezing out and we couldn't stay outside any longer. We'd come home, we'd see Duck, and he'd be watching like horror movies, right? So we'd like bunker down, get some popcorn, get some candy and ice cream, and then we'd watch horror movies all night. And then we woke back up in the morning, and then we go out frog hunting again. We would go to the ponds. We would go like on little adventures, play little games, pretend we were spies and stuff. Oh my god. And then like we do the same thing. It was like this amazing little routine. It was just like frog hunting in the morning, pretended to be spies, going home watching horror movies, eating candy, falling asleep, waking up, doing the whole thing all over again. It was great. It was like, that's what being a child is. you know, like, ugh, it's so pure. Oh, there's also one really dark story that I'm not gonna tell. I'll give you the gist of it. I'm not gonna get into it, but I'll give you the gist. I almost got stabbed by one of my best friends. So, there's that. We were kids when it happened. You know, I hold nothing against him, but it was a thing that happened. We're still friends to this day, actually. He actually saved my life later on. So, anyway, scare time. Weird. Yeah, sorry. Back to the build. What a weird kind of place to end off of. I'm sorry about that, but I hope you enjoyed my little trailer stories while building a modern trailer. Alright. I will see you guys in the next one. Toodles. Sorry about that. It got a little dark at the end. I really didn't mean for it to happen that way, but, you know, I'm fine. Everything's fine. So, yeah, okay.